The megastars, the millionaires, the masterminds. Seriously wealthy, glamorous and influential. They are the rich and famous. Their fame, their wealth is in the palm of your hand. They are your friends, your fantasies. You are the viewer and you make the hit series. It can't be that hard to come up with a hit television series, right? You just need some attractive doctors, a love triangle or two, and a great soundtrack. You'll have them tuning in by the millions. Grey's Anatomy does just that. The Emmy and Golden Globe award-winning primetime television medical drama debuted in 2005. The series, set at a fictional Washington hospital, revolves around Dr. Meredith Grey, played by Ellen Pompeo, and a group of people struggling to become doctors and doctors struggling to remain human. Part of the show's appeal is its multiracial cast and use of popular music, promoting songs by The Fray, Snow Patrol and many others. Viewership has grown in leaps and bounds from the first season, 18.5 million viewers, to 19.9 million viewers in Season 2. Now upwards of 25 million viewers check into Seattle Grace Hospital every week. The acting ensemble earns a combined income of over $33 million and rising for each season, far outdoing the cast of Desperate Housewives with its total of $16 million. Several of the major cast members of Grey's Anatomy have even been offered portions of the series' profits. Dr. Meredith Grey is Ellen Pompeo's first major role, and audiences clearly approve the casting of the resident, whose sexual exploits and professional struggles are chronicled in excruciating detail each week. By the third season, her salary was raised to $200,000 per episode. She now spends her hiatus between seasons travelling between New York, Paris and Japan, and is often invited to visit the many countries where the show is thriving. Unlike many TV actors who make movies on their break, Pompeo says that financially she simply doesn't have to. Unless it's an A-list director, an A-list script and an A-list cast, I don't really have the desire to be in movies. Patrick Dempsey plays Meredith Grey's love interest, neurosurgeon Dr. Derek Shepherd, or Dr. McDreamy, and has made the role one of the most watched on television. Dempsey was nominated for Best Performance by an Actor in a Drama Series at the 2007 Golden Globes. Earning upwards of $200,000 per episode, Dempsey can afford to indulge in his favourite pastime, race car driving. It's not uncommon to see the star driving professionally at Daytona, and he was spotted at the 2007 Indianapolis 500. He is currently the co-owner of IndyCar Series team Vision Racing. Fellow cast member Katherine Heigl won an Emmy for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series in 2007 for her role as Dr. Isabel Stevens. Cast member Chandra Wilson is enjoying the accolades.
Well, the big deal for us, at least I think this is the way I feel, and I've kind of heard it echoed, is that, we got 4 nominations this year. We just had the 1 last year, so we felt like we were in the game finally this year, and just really being recognized, not just by critics, not just by, fans, but that the Academy was paying attention and, taking us seriously as a show.
And the actor goes to
Sandra Oh.
Sandra Oh, the highly decorated Canadian-Korean actress, plays Dr. Christina Yang. Dr. Yang demonstrates a common flaw in new doctors. She's highly competitive and driven, but has the bedside manner of a bulldog. The Canadian brings substantial screen cred to the show, having appeared in several high-profile films, winning prestigious acting awards including the Golden Globe and Screen Actors Guild Award. She's also one of People magazine's 50 Most Beautiful People. Well, the series masthead, Dr. Meredith Grey, may be indecisive, but audiences have made their minds up. They love the show. It's 2004. Oceanic Flight 815 has crashed on a seemingly deserted tropical island, stranding a group of strangers. Can they survive the conditions, each other, and worse, the strange hostile supernatural forces that inhabit the island? Stay tuned to find out. They did, and still do, in their millions. The show is Lost, and if you don't know it, then you must have been living on some island somewhere. Writers at television's ABC were asked to come up with a concept that was a cross between the movies Lord of the Flies, Castaway, and the popular reality show Survivor. They did that and went further, developing a supernatural angle to the series. The unique mix was a winner. But ABC executives were initially nervous. The project was risky and expensive. Because of its large ensemble cast and the cost of filming in Hawaii, Lost's pilot episode was one of the most expensive in the network's history, reportedly costing up to $14 million, compared to the average pilot cost of $4 million. The risk paid off. The show became one of the biggest critical and commercial successes of 2004 and beyond.
Our roots were, we were a show that started trembling, thinking, is anyone going to watch this show? I mean, it's so wild and it's so out there and it's so unique. No one will watch it. And then when people did start watching it, we were thrilled. And then when we got recognized critically, we were beside ourselves.
Lost gets 16 million viewers per episode and has won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Drama Series in 2005, Best American Import at the British Academy Television Awards also in 2005, and the Golden Globe for Best Drama. As one of the most watched primetime shows, Lost generates $7.82 million in advertising revenue every night.
I think that the brilliant thing about this show is they're always trying to find new facets in which to tell the stories of these main characters that you've gotten to know. And what they did in the first season is they focused on the survivors, so you got to know them. And then in the second season, they introduced the tailies, and that was a whole other can of worms that they opened up, and they told the stories through the tailies' eyes.
The main players in the cast receive over $80,000 per episode. That's a far cry from Josh Holloway's first job, collecting dead chickens on a farm. Before Lost, the struggling actor was booked to perform only once or twice a year. Now he's turning down film offers from Hollywood and is the new face for Davidoff's Cool Water fragrance worldwide. Evangeline Lilly was a flight attendant, waitress and part-time model, but gave it all up to scale palm trees, avoid monsters and unravel mysteries on location in beautiful Hawaii. After playing the much-loved hobbit Merry in The Lord of the Rings, Dominic Monaghan expected the phone in his LA apartment to start ringing. It didn't. So he spent most days playing Grand Theft Auto, till he was offered the role of rock star drug addict Charlie Pace, and the rest is history. Naveen Andrews enjoys his role on the hit series and being voted one of the world's most beautiful people. He just has one little concern. With all those monsters roaming around the island, how can you be sure your character won't be prematurely bumped off in the forest?
It was essential that we got the relationship.
Matthew Fox, the highest paid actor on the show, plays the role of the troubled and dedicated surgeon Dr. Jack Shepherd. His character is so popular, he received a sweetener of an extra $250,000 attached to his contract, just to make sure he'd sign on to the series' end. And it will end. All loose ends tied up by 2010. Just make sure you get your set of limited edition Lost action figures to remember it by. Once upon a time, a producer named Mark Cherry was watching the news. Another housewife had gone mad in suburbia. It was then the idea for the smash hit series Desperate Housewives was born. The crazy lives of ordinary wives and mothers, their secrets, crimes and mysteries, all hidden behind the facades of their beautiful homes and narrated by their dead neighbour. Did anyone buy it? Not at first. 6 networks turned down Mark Cherry's series, and they're kicking themselves now. The multi-award-winning comedy drama is the most popular show in the world in its demographic, with a devoted audience of almost 119 million viewers. The pilot episode, airing in 2004, had 21.3 million viewers, making it the best new drama for the year. Along with Lost, Desperate Housewives was credited with turning around ABC's declining fortunes.
And the actor goes to the cast of Desperate Housewives.
The show went on to win multiple Emmy, Golden Globe and Screen Actors Guild Awards and has been sold to more than 130 foreign markets, including Australia, South Africa, Ireland, India and Pakistan. Notably, the fastest growing group of viewers are aged 18 to 24. Luckily, the cast and producers are signed up to the series until 2011.
It begins and ends with Mark Cherry. It's the writing. If you don't have a great writer, you don't have a great story, and you don't have great characters, and an audience will always respond to great writing.
So, what's the appeal? Critics say it's the style, a blend of the black comedy of American Beauty, the female appeal of Sex in the City, and the skewed mysteries of David Lynch's classic TV series, Twin Peaks. At a combined income of $16 million, the 4 lead females can afford to look good on the red carpet. Why else are they smiling? One had twins, one's making hit films, one's the face of L'Oreal, one's married to an NBA star, and each are invited to make personal product endorsements worth millions of dollars. Felicity Huffman plays Lynette, a former businesswoman turned stressed-out stay-at-home mother of 4. She won an Emmy for the role and now endorses Dove beauty products. She is also the co-author of a self-help book on love. Terry Hatcher, who plays Susan, a divorced mother on the search for love, has taken up her first beauty deal with Clairol hair colour at the ripe old age of 41. Hatcher also released a book on her philosophies for living and has launched her own line of apparel and merchandise. Eva Longoria Parker, who plays an ex-model in an unhappy marriage, has her own modelling contracts with L'Oreal and Hanes and is the first face of BB Sport activewear. Marsha Cross plays Brie, the seemingly perfect mother struggling to save her marriage. In reality, Cross has tiny twin daughters that make the kiddie fashion pages every time they step out of the house.
Because I was just like, I still think...
So how far can the success of Desperate Housewives go? The DVDs of the series are bestsellers, and you can have just-aired episodes downloaded to your iPod. There are board games and computer games based on the Desperados, and several Latin American versions of the show have been created for Argentina, Brazil and Ecuador. But for the truly desperate, you can pick up a limited edition 16-inch fashion doll in the image of Brie, Gabrielle, Susan or Lynette. And they said it wouldn't work. The Simpsons is the longest-running American sitcom of all time, at over 400 episodes in 20 years. Not even its creator, Matt Groening, could have known the satirical parody of Middle America would have such a lasting and complete influence over the whole world. Groening created the dysfunctional family and named the characters after members of his own family, substituting Bart for his own name. His goal was to offer the audience an alternative to what he called the mainstream trash they were watching. To say it worked is a hell of an understatement. Groening now makes over $18 million a year. Praised for its wit, realism and intelligence, The Simpsons seem to lampoon society as a whole. No person or institution is safe. Any episode can be as informative on political and social issues as any news program. The show even dares to lampoon itself and its parent body, Fox Broadcasting.
Is there an alcoholic here?
The Simpsons was an instant hit for Fox, and in 1999, Time magazine named it the 20th century's best television series. In 2000, the show was awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Unusually, the show has always had a cult following, and at the same time been enormously popular, topping the TV ratings every year. The antics of Bart, Lisa and all are viewed in more than 70 countries. The show has been dubbed into several other languages, including Japanese, German, Spanish and Swedish. It is also one of the few programs dubbed in both French and Quebec French.
We're here! Too bad we didn't come dressed as popular cartoon characters.
So, what's the secret? Being a cartoon, the sitcom isn't bound by the constraints of live-action television. Anything can happen, and everything does. And it's been controversial from the start. Lead character and proud underachiever Bart was considered a poor role model for kids. And kids loved him, buying $2 billion of Bart merchandise in the first 14 months of sales. The rewards abound. The artists that voiced the 6 main characters, Dan Castellaneta as Homer Simpson, Julie Kavner as Marge Simpson, Nancy Cartwright as Bart, and Yardley Smith as the voice of Lisa, are paid over $5.5 million a year.
First of all, I went in for Lisa. I didn't want to do Lisa, I really wanted to do Bart. So I went in, saw Matt Groening, and I said, do you mind if I do Bart? And he's like, no, that's fine. Blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, it's him, that's Bart Simpson, you're hired. You got the job.
The popularity of The Simpsons has made it a billion-dollar merchandising industry. The characters appear on everything from t-shirts to posters. There's DVDs, video games, comic books, toys, and Universal Studios Hollywood have announced the new Simpsons ride, so you can experience the sight and sounds of Springfield firsthand.
You little yellow-belly rat jackass. If I ever find out who you are, I'll kill you.
Before the release of the much-awaited Simpsons movie, some skeptics were wondering if the world's love affair with the Toon family was over. It wasn't. After 11 writers and 100 drafts, the Simpsons movie premiered in Springfield, Vermont, and went on to gross $74 million in its opening weekend in the US, taking it to the top of the box office. Only months later, the film had grossed a staggering $523.3 million. Not bad considering the peak only cost $75 million to make, because so much of the animation work was done in South Korea. The Halloweens, the Christmases, the birthdays may pass by on the series, but The Simpsons never age. Whether they fade away into television history, only time will tell.
Never heard of them.
Rachel and Ross, Monica and Chandler, Phoebe and Joey. We shared their loves and their losses. They, and the actors that played them, became household names all over the world. They were the $1 Million Friends. Friends was, and still is, considered the most successful sitcom of the 1990s and 2000s, with an average of 24 million US viewers every week.
I really do understand how hard it's got to be to leave your child with another person. I mean, it's like leaving behind a piece of your heart.
Sandy, that's exactly what it is.
Are you gay?
The fictional lives of these Manhattan mates were broadcast in over 100 countries, and still, to this day, attract excellent ratings in syndication.
So you're just like a guy who's a nanny.
The fast-paced show, sprinkled with sharp wit and adept performances, seemed to capture the spirit of the times, 20-somethings exploring their independence against the backdrop of New York City.
Okay.
Behind the scenes, the show was known for its unusually unified cast. When Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox Arquette, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry and David Schwimmer came to the show, some were struggling actors and several had already established careers. And yet they always worked as a team, careful never to outshine one another. And it was all for one and one for all on salary negotiations, resulting in $1 million an episode for each over the last 2 seasons. David Schwimmer was the first to be cast. In fact, the character of Ross was written for him. He even went on to direct 10 episodes of the hit series. Schwimmer had come originally from Broadway and has since gone back to treading the boards on the West End. During Courtney Cox's time on Friends, she appeared in the highly successful Hollywood films Scream 1, 2 and 3 as the fame-seeking reporter Gail Weathers, but ultimately achieved more fame as Monica Geller. Her asking price for a film performance post-Friends is $7.5 million.
This thing that I'm looking at? Wow.
Thank you. God, no, you should see me when... Oh, actually, no, I look pretty good.
When Lisa Kudrow and her 2 female cast members received their first $1 million per episode paycheck, they became the highest paid TV actresses of all time.
Well, you are.
Kudrow was the most Emmy-nominated cast member of the show and has gone on to be a sought-after character actress, favouring small independent films. The naturally funny Matthew Perry also has a strong, mainly comic film career. He receives over $5 million a film. Partly responsible for the sitcom style, Perry's humorous quips on set often made their way into the script.
Monica says that her maitre d' is the funniest guy she's ever met.
When Matt LeBlanc auditioned for the role as Joey Tribbiani, he only had $11 to his name. He spent his first paycheck on a hot dinner. LeBlanc went on to play Joey Tribbiani for 12 years, over 10 seasons of Friends and 2 seasons of the spin-off show Joey. That's a lot of hot dinners. But by far the most successful friend is Jennifer Aniston, who has been listed as the 10th richest woman in the entertainment industry, behind such powerhouses as Oprah Winfrey, J.K. Rowling, Madonna and Jennifer Lopez. Aniston's net worth is over $110 million. She has a successful film career, receiving over $8 million a film, and continues to attract intense public interest. The legacy of the Talented Six is written in the rating books. Over 51 million US viewers watched the final episode. It was the end of their on-screen friendships and the end of an era.
Hi, there you are.
Fire trucks!
Fictional Washington Hospital revolves around Dr. Meredith Grey, played by Ellen Pompeo, and a group of people struggling to become doctors and doctors struggling to remain human. Part of the show's appeal is its multiracial cast and use of popular music, promoting songs by The Fray, Snow Patrol and many others. Viewership has grown in leaps and bounds from the first season, 18.5 million viewers, to 19.9. The megastars, the millionaires, the masterminds, seriously wealthy, glamorous and influential. They are the rich and famous. Their fame, their wealth is in the palm of your hand. They are your friends, your fantasies. You are the viewer and you make the hit series. It can't be that hard to come up with a hit television series, right? You just need some attractive doctors, a love triangle or two, and a great soundtrack. You'll have them tuning in by the millions. Grey's Anatomy does just that. The Emmy and Golden Globe award-winning primetime television medical drama debuted in 2005. The series, set at a... Dr. Meredith Grey is Ellen Pompeo's first major role, and audiences clearly approve the casting of the resident, whose sexual exploits and professional struggles are chronicled in excruciating detail each week. By the third season, her salary was raised to $200,000 per episode. She now spends her hiatus between seasons, travelling 9 million viewers in Season 2. Now upwards of 25 million viewers check into Seattle Grace Hospital every week. The acting ensemble earns a combined income of over $33 million and rising for each season, far outdoing the cast of Desperate Housewives with its total of $16 million. Several of the major cast members of Grey's Anatomy have even been offered portions of the series' profits.